Boston has entered the chat. I'm George Bleccia. He's Travis Thomas. We're coming to you guys right from the PNC Bank studios. Got plenty to talk about today. Alex Cora with his extension. What does this mean for the Red Sox? What does Craig Breslow have to say about the trade deadline? We get into all that. Dive even deeper as the last episode we recorded right after the breaking news for all that. Patriots camp, day 2, done and through. I was at both first days. A different day for the offense, a lot slower. Offensive line not looking good, Trav. Hate to say it, not looking good. So we'll talk that, and then we go with a little bit of Olympics talk, building our own starting 5 on the court on the men's and women's side.
All right.
First, how you doing today, bro?
Anytime I'm here with you, my brother, it's a beautiful day. So I'm loving life right now, my man.
My guy just buttoned me right up.
Come
me right up.
Come
like
on.
That. I had a protein bar like right before we came on.
I saw it.
And so I'm choking up on my words as I go.
Well, the thing is, you may be choking up on your words, but let me tell you all. I watched this man devour. He inhaled. I don't think he breathed at all, this protein bar. And as he's eating it, I'm watching the pecs and his shoulders, the deltoids, the triceps grow as he's eating it. I'm like, what is going on in the Incredible Hulk here? George Bleccia, ladies and gentlemen.
The Incredible Short Armenian Hulk. That's what they called me in high school. Hey, speaking of an Incredible Hulk, you know who was a Hulk today?
Who?
Dylan Cease. You know what he did?
What did he do?
Threw a no-hitter in July.
Oh, would you look at that? Do you care about this one, or
I
you
do.
don't care? Oh, you care. Interesting.
114 pitches, no-hitter, 3 walks allowed, 9 Ks. The Padres get over the win over your Nationals.
It's just interesting to see because, just a Boston has entered the chat ago. Someone, not to be named, but is a Hulk on this program.
Sounds like me.
Told me that, no hitters don't matter, Trav. No hitters aren't a big deal, man. It's July. We only care about the postseason. So now all of a sudden, 2 crappy teams playing each other, and somebody gets a no-hitter, last I checked, in July, is a big deal. I don't know. But I always feel like no-hitters are a big deal. I always feel like Dylan Cease is just absolute filth. He is awesome. And listen, my only wish was that he didn't end up on the Padres, and they don't really stink. I know they're making a run, but I'm still calling them stinky because they print money, out in San Diego, and it's gotten them nowhere fast. So you get a Dylan Cease, good for you, but then what? What are you going to do? You going to back in the playoffs as a wild card and get smoked? I'm not buying it, but I'm happy for Cease. My only wish is that he came to a better team. Dylan Cease in Boston would feel real good about right now, and I know we're going to talk about the trade deadline as you teased. But look, this is who this guy is. I'm not shocked he accomplished this, but also we can acknowledge the Nats stink. So good for Dylan Cease.
His last 4 starts, 7 innings pitched, 8 Ks, 3 earned runs. 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 11 Ks. 7 innings pitched, no earned runs, 10 Ks, and then he does this today. That's his last 4. And I'd also like the defense to recognize that. I didn't say no hitters don't matter.
Yeah, you did.
With a pitcher like Paul Skeens, I care more about him in the postseason making a push than going for a no-hitter in the middle of July.
He's probably not going to get there.
Are no-hitters impressive? Yes, no doubt about it. It's only the second one this MLB season. It feels like we're so far in, we only have 2.
Right.
But do they matter in the grand scheme of things? No. How are you pitching in the playoffs, and is your arm holding up? Cease, 114 pitches?
Well, ironically, too, like the Padres and the Pirates are both fighting for wild card spots. So I would argue it does matter. But
translated to a win.
I do understand where you're coming from. Like both trying to get to the postseason is the bigger priority, obviously. And once you get in, what you do is a bigger priority. But listen, call me a baseball purist. I've always made fun of baseball purists. I don't believe I am. Maybe I'm just old school. But no hitters are a big deal. And Dylan Cease is. In my opinion, with his resume, this matters. A guy like him to get into Cooperstown needs days like yesterday. So Dylan Cease no-hitter, big deal. I don't care that it's the Nats who can't do anything right and get out of their own way.
The 3 walks, too, they were walks. The first one was like, that's early in the game. Don't know what's cooking. Last 2, he was trying to get him chased with the 4-seam and missing by a lot.
He's nasty.
And also, I'd like to recognize that for you to take me saying I'd rather have Skeens throw in the postseason than throw a no-hitter. It also translates to me saying I like Drake May because he doesn't dance, to you going, oh, that means he's going to start day one.
Yeah, he's starting. Now, I'm not going to lie, and I know we'll get here eventually. You telling me that the offensive line didn't look good today, it's concerning. It's concerning.
Week 13 back on.
Yeah, it's concerning.
It's only day 2. There's no pass.
Because I don't want to get the kid, crushed. But I want to see Drake May sooner than later, no doubt.
Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, both not at practice, both continuing their holdouts. Jamar Chase due like a $1 million base salary, can make around $6 million this year. Yeah, $6 million in 1 year. Keep in mind that, Justin Jefferson's getting what he's getting. CeeDee Lamb due just to get paid. Both of these guys are. CeeDee's actually been working out in Houston, like 2-hour workouts per day. Neither of them are messing around, but they both want their money. The Cowboys are in the tougher spot. You got to pay CD. You got to pay Micah. You got to pay Dak. You got to pay Mike McCarthy. Someone's not going to get paid, but everyone's going to get paid because they're all essential positions. Jamar Chase, Bengals, ownership. Stop being cheap. Just stop being cheap. You guys have one of the worst facilities in the NFL. Dude, it's one of the cheapest families. It's always been.
Yeah.
Practice field they practice on, that's what cost A.J. Brown the remainder of his career.
Yep.
Hurt his ankles, I believe. And it's like an old, dusty, basically high school level practice field underneath a highway. That's where they spend their training camp. Jamar Chase deserves a cheese. CeeDee Lamb's tougher because of all the moving parts in that.
Right.
But you got to figure both out. And my opinion on Jerry. If you're going to walk around like you're the hootiest, tootiest, richest cowboy this side of the Mississippi, Jerry, pay the man. Hootiest, tootiest. Hootin' tootin'.
I think I heard you the first 3 times. It's still ridiculous. But it's a pretty good Jarrow, though. Look, you're going to pay both. You're right. I'll give the Bengals some credit. I know you're saying they're cheap. The fact that they paid Joe Burrow was necessary and also impressive to me that they did shell out some cheese. I don't think them being cheap is the issue, although historically I will acknowledge it has been for that franchise. What I think Cincinnati has is scrambled eggs with cheese for brains, and that's a problem. You shell out the money for Joe. I do believe they're going to shell out the money eventually for Jamar Chase. The issue is it's like buying a Lamborghini, 2 of them, and parking it outside in the weather. Can you get a garage? They have no offensive line to speak of.
Wait, who? Cincy?
Yes.
Well, now they do with Orlando Brown and Trent Brown.
Well, okay, we'll see. You're saying that.
Third year.
You know what I've seen? You know what I've seen since Joe Burrow's been there?
Yes.
Joe Burrow getting demolished. So, sure, on paper now.
But they've upgraded. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yep.
You know who else I've heard that from for years? That they've upgraded and they've made improvements. And then I watched their quarterback get destroyed for a decade plus, and he still didn't miss a game? The Giants. Every offseason, we fixed the offensive line. Eli's going to be just fine. And then Eli was not at all, except in the Super Bowl twice.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it. But, that's what I need to see from Cincy. They're going to pay Jamar Chase. I do believe Dallas will pay CeeDee Lamb as well. I'm starting to come around, though. This is kind of hot takey. I think between CeeDee Lamb and between Micah Parsons, I'm not convinced that Dak is going to get paid. I'm not. My theory, it is a hot take.
Wait, I don't hate this. I don't hate this. No.
My theory is it's easier now to figure out the quarterback position. Whether you draft a kid, all these kids out of college are awesome.
Yeah.
Or do you pay a veteran a little bit cheaper than you would pay a Dak? Dak Prescott's going to demand Patrick Mahomes money. He is. Someone will pay him that. I just wonder if it's going to be Dallas. Because why would you pay Patrick Mahomes money to a guy who's not giving you Patrick Mahomes results? Instead, you pay CeeDee Lamb, you pay Micah Parsons, and then kind of what I'm saying with Cincy, how about you build the roster, build the line again? Like when Dak got there, he had the best line in football, right?
Yep. Still have a great offensive line.
But it's not as good. So since Dak has got paid, it's regressed as far as offensive line I'm talking about. So I think both of these wide receivers holding out is not shocking. Not being at practice is not shocking. But I do think eventually they're going to get paid. I'm wondering about the ancillary moves and the ancillary pieces their franchises make around them in the ripple effect. I'm thinking more about that and its impact than I am the actual players.
Dak shouldn't get paid.
Shouldn't? Okay, now you're tripping.
Listen, pay CD, pay Micah, do your plan. Dak, you too, go hit the free agency market.
Oh, you mean shouldn't get paid by the Cowboys?
He'll go make $65 million on the open market.
Well,
and
you
if
can't
it is
say
the
shouldn't
Cowboys,
get paid.
And if it is the Cowboys,
I'm like, what are you talking about? Go to the XFL? But you mean by the Cowboys?
Shouldn't get paid this offseason.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted that little like air check. Like my words get misconstrued. And then
Yeah, well, I was like, wait.
It.
Someone's going to pay him.
Dak's making $29 million this year, vastly underpaid when you see what Jared Goff is making, and I could go on.
But at the time of his contract,
No, I know. Yeah, that's it. It's always to be the latest to get
Right.
paid. You don't want to be paid the most. Just be the latest.
That's right.
CD, Ayuk, Jamar Chase, they're all going to see, right?
Right.
Jets got paid early. No one's going to match that market. But for Dak, it's don't get paid, hit free agency, make $65 million a year. Still a really good quarterback, still an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
Whether it's in Dallas or whether it's elsewhere, go get paid.
Where's it going to be? Hot take alert.
Now I have to think of where the quarterbacks could be churning.
Ready? I got one. Listen, Matt, I'm playing matchmaker here.
No, I have one.
I'm playing millionaire quarterback matchmaker. Miami's not going to pay Tua. I don't think.
Then they're going to pay Dak $65 million?
They're not going to pay Tua because Tua is incapable of doing what they need, just that next level. So you pay Dak to go to Miami. Imagine him with those weapons, my friend. He's more the athlete. He has a better arm. He's a better quarterback than Tua. Let's just cut the crap, okay? Cut the cheese. So you send Dak to Miami. He gets paid. He's in South Beach. He's got weapons galore. And then Dallas, they could draft a kid. Yeah, sure. But they could also go, shopping, looking for a bargain. Hey, Tua, you know what, man? We like you. Why don't you come on here to Big D? We're not going to pay you what we were paying Dak and what he's getting with your old team, but we'll take care of you. We'll give you a nice contract. Miami didn't want you. We'll take you here. I think they switch quarterbacks. I think Dallas and Miami switch quarterbacks. Tua to Big D, Dak to Miami. You don't
Miami's system. They don't need a quarterback. They could go with the rookie scale stuff. I was thinking Raiders, $24 million in cap space though.
Big name.
But that's how you can punt the money.
Big name.
And
you
can use some juice, or you go Cardinals.
Well, they already paid Kyler.
Yeah, we'll see what the money.
We'll see what happens. By the way, Raiders is not a bad take. You know why? They're going to trade Devontae Adams any day now.
Yeah, and then they have Aiden O'Connell, or maybe with the top 4, top 5 pick, they get Shador Sanders.
I don't hate Dak to Vegas. But then I feel something there.
But then they can end up going rookie Q. We'd see. Hey, call on in 617-790-0928 and email us thechat@nesson.com to enter the chat and join the conversation. Alex Cora, we broke the news here on the show yesterday. It happened right before we started recording. Now it's signed, sealed, delivered, official.
Yep.
3 years, $21.75 million. That's $7.2 million a year. We'll take him from age 48 to age 51, 52, depending. And we both loved this. We were shocked that Alex Cora didn't hit free agency. He could have made $8.5 million out there.
Yeah.
But still, as you look back on it now, anything change on your outlook on this, on why it went down when it did?
No, I still want to know more that I don't know about negotiations. And I may never get those answers, by the way. But I just, kind of what we were just saying with Dak Prescott, right? Dak Prescott hit the market. You may not get it from Dallas. You're going to get it from somebody. Could be Vegas, could be Miami, could be whoever. I feel like Alex Cora has every right, which were the reports originally that we heard, that he wanted to be the highest paid manager in baseball. I get it. The highest paid manager in baseball currently. His team's underachieving, and the Cubs, and Craig Counsell I'm talking about, he doesn't have a World Series like Alex Cora. He doesn't have the career wins as Alex Cora. And right now, although still early, it feels like not the greatest deal you ever saw, right? Why are you paying that guy all that money? So Cora has leverage in a sense of, I deserve more money than that guy, right? With that being said, he almost got there, but he's not. He's still below in terms of pay Craig Counsell. So I just wonder, the curiosity in me, We heard rumors that he wanted to be front office. Did he get more power? Did he get more? Something was negotiated somewhere. Where I will give the Red Sox all the credit in the world here is you had two sort of elephants in the room. This team is overachieved to the point where George and I have said this till we're blue in the face really all season, even before we got near this trade deadline, that you're almost forced to do something at the deadline. Like in years past, you could say, yeah, I guess mathematically the Sox were still in it. But, we all knew the team was a little thin. We all knew maybe the second half of the season, they may not play the same way they did in the first half. You almost had a reason where you could at least make sense of the team not doing anything at the deadline. This team has put you in a position where you must do something. There needs to be addition, right? So that's the elephant in the room, the trade deadline, which we'll talk about. But then also, okay, let's even just go with that and say they do something at the deadline, and they do add. And this team continues to ascend in a wide-open American League, by the way. Well, what are you going to do with Cora at the end of the year? You just going to let him walk out of your life? So those were the two elephants in the room, and I think both are being addressed. We're going to get in these quotes here about the deadline and all that, but, they're going to do something, and now you have Cora locked up. So kudos to the Sox. You just there were two big question marks hanging over you, and you answered them both.
Getting ahead of this, if he hit free agency, $8.5 million a year, that would have been the asking price that he could have gotten. By the Red Sox getting this done, you avoid him going to another team, even within the division, because who knows what happens with the Blue Jays, who knows what happens with the Yankees. And the Yankees, that would be like a petty FU check they would have written to get Cora away from the Red Sox. And no one would have wanted to see that happen. Right. But it's also, for him, the short term. I said it on the last show. There's that happiness. There is the comfort of, what you're walking into every day. Mm-hmm. And this is the third front office to pick Alex Cora. Back in 2018, won the World Series. Chaim Bloom was here, but he didn't get to pick the manager. But there also was an extension between Cora and the Sox while Chaim was here.
That's right.
Now it's Craig Breslow. And Breslow, what is it, 9 months into the job, whatever it is. I forget. Not even. But 6 months into the job, seeing what Cora has done with this clubhouse, and even the report of Breslow walking in with the contract, a round of applause from the players, like how happy they were with this decision.
Right.
And then look at the outlook from the Red Sox. Cutter Crawford, Jarren Duran, Tanner Houck, Connor Wong, all under team control through 2027.
Yeah.
Devers, Bayo, Cedane Rafaela, long-term deals.
Yeah.
Roman Anthony, Marcelo Mayer, Kyle Teal. Those guys all will be up by the time his contract is up.
That's right.
And it'll be 51, 52. And then again, from there, you get paid. You reset it in 3 years when the market's reset. Give me another extension. It's not the highest paid manager in the game, but it's Cora meeting with ownership, most likely, meeting with the front office, most likely, and going, what's a budget? What's the investment in the team? What can you pay me? Let's meet on a number. I'm not going to bend you over backwards, give me $8 million a year, but 21.7 over the next 3, and I know what I'm walking into every single day.
Yeah.
And there's families that come into factor this. There's a lot more than just who am I managing, but also at the same time, he sees who he's managing.
That's right.
He knows what the farm system looks like. He knows what the clubhouse and the leadership looks like. Mm-hmm. He's looking at a guy like Jarren Duran going, all right, I'll keep coaching him. Awesome. He knows the players respond to him. The players do listen to him.
Yes,
and he loves being around them. So that's why it's huge for Breslow to get this done and huge for Cora to stay. It is interesting, and everyone's going to talk about the money. And you know what? Maybe it was for Cora, I'll do you guys a solid. Don't pay me $8 million.
Don't worry about
Don't pay me $8 a year.
Right.
Don't pay me 8.2. I don't need $24 million over the next 3 years. Let's just get this done. I want to be here.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna take you guys to work. It's still the $7.2 million to manage baseball. I understand the market's a market.
Yeah.
$7.2 million to manage the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, but he could have got more, George. But here's the thing, though, that you said.
$1 million more a year.
Here's the thing. $1 million matters, bro.
$3 million.
This ain't crumbs we're talking about. But
if you left $10 million on the table, I'd say, but $3 million.
I don't know.
And you work with where investments are going.
I might be the type. I'm counting every cent. But I'll say this though.
I agree.
I'll give you. You said something that I keyed in on. He's been consistent through all of this, I want to be here. He cannot be more clear. Sometimes in the media, like, things are lost between the lines, right? And we ask the questions, and players and coaches, they talk around it. So we'll ask a very direct question, and it's almost like political. It's politics, where it's like, I'm answering your question, but not really. Cora has been extremely, extremely transparent. I want to be here. I want to be here. I want to be here. Everyone, hey, is this thing on? Hello.
But I
want to be here.
He also said, he's like, I'm looking out for Alex Cora.
Of course.
He's like, yeah, I'll visit that answer at the end of the year.
Of course.
Yeah, so he'd let it know he'd be here, but he's also like, I'm going to do what's best for me.
Of course.
Because second highest paid is just $5 million a year.
Right.
So,
right.
No. You got to get me closer to 8.
Right. I think he wanted to be the top. And by the way, he deserves it. But to your point, likely, we don't know, but likely it could have been a situation where you're right, where you're like, all right, forget it. You don't have to make me the highest paid. Do what you can. This is where I want to be. Just get the deal done. Make it fair for both sides. And the Red Sox did. And they deserve credit.
And it does help with free agency and even at the deadline. If you trade for a guy and want to extend him, but you see the buy-in, this is the manager.
Right.
Not coming in with a question, as it was a question looming into last offseason. Sox still need a right-handed hitter. They need a starting pitcher.
Yep.
And they need help in the bullpen, as you've seen over the last few games post-All-Star break.
Yep.
Some key quotes I want to point out from Craig Breslow. An article you can find on NESN.com. Breslow said, quote, at some point we need to stop with the stupid analogies and put the turn signal on. And that was in reference to a quote being said, we got to pick what road we're going to drive down. Mm-hmm. We've been really good. We've played really good baseball for the last few months. We put ourselves in this position where we're going to look to improve the team. That's where we would want to be. And I want to go back to a quote Breslow said on 310 to Left, which you can find wherever you get your NESN podcast, hosted by Tom Caron and Alex Spear. He said this on 310 to Left. Quote, I think you can try to move the organization in the right direction, but you have to be convicted in the short-term execution of whatever the steps are that will get you there. That's what I mean by picking a lane, and that's what he meant by the dumb analogies. Like, let's stop with the analogies. Mm-hmm. Conceptually, it sounds great to balance those things out by doing the buy-sell, add and subtract. I think what often happens when you try to go down both paths is you end up with neither. It's really, really complicated to successfully execute that. To me, the only thing we need to do is determine that we are trying to accomplish and be completely convicted and decisive in accomplishing that. And then it goes back to, we played really good baseball for the last few months. We put ourselves in a position where we're going to look to improve the team. That's where we would want to be. Mm-hmm. So he's saying, like, whatever we decide on, we just got to be convicted and 100% go.
Yeah.
Don't buy,
right,
but also don't half-ass buy.
Don't halfway, yeah.
So and he's like, we're put in this position. We're on the cusp of making the playoffs. We need another starting arm because Bayo hasn't worked out so far. We need a right-handed hitter because they continue to struggle against left-handed pitchers, and they need some juice in the lineup. And they need a bullpen arm, as we've seen. If it's not Brennan Bernardino or Kenley Jansen, where are you getting your bullpen production from?
Okay, I'm going to play fantasy baseball here, and the reason I'm going to do it is because, and we just talked about this, the Cora extension feels like this team is going for it, right? That's what we both said. Them figuring this out, working this out, and this shoe dropping, and Breslow's comments that we just read you from his mouth feels like, okay, here we go. We're going for it. And they should in an American League that they could win outside of the Orioles, who you're so familiar with, who there's a rivalry with, who, by the way, doesn't know how to win jack shnikes because they just showed up here. They're not old money. They're new money. They don't know what they're doing. They're buying yachts. They don't know what's going on. They're like, hey, we got good, baby. You don't know how to win yet. So I think the Red Sox, if they're in a series, if that's the ALCS, just for the sake of this conversation, I am a betting man. I would bet the Red Sox, right? I say all that to say this. If you're going to go for it, Breslow, you just said at some point we need to stop with the stupid analogies and put the turn signal on. Okay, bruh. Got it. Here's my turn signal. I want a reconciliation with Nathan Eovaldi. So there's a starter. Don't laugh. This is a guy who loved being here. The fans loved him being here. Another person who was very transparent saying, I don't want to leave Boston, but had to go. It's business, right? Not personal. We get it. Cool. He got the bag from Texas. He wins a World Series. My man was shoving. Okay, cool. Now Texas, we'll see. Could be buyers at the deadline to try to make a wild card run. Could be sellers like, yeah, this ain't our year. Evaldi's possibly available, and that's a guy I know who would love to come back to Boston. So there's a big name who I want. Here's another one that's really crazy. I'm not going to give you a bullpen person. You know, it hasn't worked up north for whatever reason. I look at these two teams very similar. The Orioles were terrible for a long time and got a bunch of really talented draft picks, developed them. They all got good at the same time, and now they're winning. The Blue Jays did the same thing. They were awful forever. They acquired all this talent, and it just hasn't worked. I think the Blue Jays are done playing games. I think they're about to blow it up. I would love, just me, Vlad Guerrero Jr., come on to Boston, baby. Come on. I want you, and I need you. Give me Vladdy Jr., give me Nathan Eovaldi, and watch this team go to the World Series, play the Dodgers or Phillies, and might steal this thing. Come on, can I get an amen in the congregation?
Neither.
What?
Evaldi, fine. Vlad Jr., the Blue Jays know what his ceiling is and what he can become. So it's the price. And this is where Breslow talks about of we got to pick a direction and we got to walk that line of what's best this season, but what's best long term. I have Kyle Teal and Marcelo Meyer coming up the pipeline, but I'm not going to trade him for Vlad Jr.
Which
and also,
you would have to, that's a good point. You got to get rid of something to get him.
Vlad Jr. is my first baseman. Tristan Casas, hello. Mm-hmm. All right, Vlad Jr. is my DH. Mm-hmm. What about Yoshi? He's over here like, hello. Mm-hmm. I'm your DH, even though I'm not doing a good job. He does need help.
Yeah.
The bat sucks. Could be a retread, but Justin Turner bringing him back, he loved it here in Boston. And that's a leader in the clubhouse and can be a solid DH. Doesn't have to be flashy. The Evaldi one, I'm not going to fault you on. I like that.
Okay, let's compromise.
No,
we'll go Evaldi and we'll go Turner.
No,
give me more.
No, I'll go Turner and I'll go to up north to Toronto.
Oh.
I'll go to Yusei Kikuchi.
Oh, okay.
Solid number 3
like
pitcher.
Him. Yeah.
Sub 4 ERA. Nothing spectacular, but has been a starting pitcher reliable.
No problem.
You get him working with Andrew Bailey.
Okay, so Evaldi, Turner, and Kikuchi, you can still win the AL.
And it's like, reality, the arm you want out there is a Tariq Skubal. But again, what he can become, the price is too high. So they finally have the farm system revamped. They finally like what they're seeing at the major league level. They finally like what they have with their manager. Yeah. But that doesn't mean punt it all away over one trade deadline. Right. And that's what they have to hit.
No, that's fair. Listen, we just compromised here, okay? This is what happened.
Sounds like you like my trades better than yours.
I don't like them better, but I do think you bring up good points, and I told you from the jump I was playing fantasy baseball. Those were the two names I wanted. What we did here is we compromised. Evaldi, Turner, Kikuchi. I love it. I think you win the AL. No?
Win the AL? I don't know about that. Still got to see him piece it all together.
What?
And then what's your bullpen? And what's your bullpen still?
Well, why didn't you add a bullpen? You're the guy.
You're the one that added 2 pitchers.
I needed Evaldi.
2 starting pitchers.
I needed Evaldi.
So that's why I'm not meeting you there.
You didn't add a bullpen.
I got to work on my bullpen arms.
All right.
Find one.
Well, we'll find one.
And getting way ahead of the britches. I mean, it's a team that lost X amount out of the breaks, out of the All-Star
Listen,
break.
I also love Turner. I don't know if it's enough. I don't know if it's enough. I think you need... I don't know if it's enough. And I love him. I really was. I was upset to see him and Evaldi leave, to be honest. But,
And even with Turner, though, you still need some consistency and a reliable player in the middle infield.
Right.
Because, like, Ceddanne Rafael making awesome plays as shortstop. Don't forget, that's a gold glove center fielder.
Yeah, I mean, we're having you almost have 2 paths here at the deadline. You can go what I did. You can go fantasy baseball where you're like, give me the stars, all the stars. Or, boy, Breslow, no pressure, dog. But it's like you wheel and deal. You get what you can. We need to fill this hole in the lineup. We need to fill this hole in the rotation. We need this coming out of and you just wheel and deal, and you're on the phone, and you don't give up the top, let's call it top 5 to 8 prospects. You can't touch any of them. Everyone else, I'd be willing to let go. And you just wheel and deal, and you try to, and it's not big. It's a guy like me is gonna feel disappointed. It's not the big sexy names. It's not the splashy moves. It's not an Evaldi. It's not a Vlad. It's not all these people we throw around, these big name guys. But you still made it happen. You still fortified your team. You still solidified everything you got going, and then you go win the damn AL. I mean, that's. I hate to say, like, no pressure, but that's literally the game.
The goal isn't winning the AL. It's great. Get into the playoffs. The goal is winning the AL in 2025 or 2026.
Oh, don't you blaspheme.
But it's getting better getting into the playoffs now.
No, you already wouldn't give me an amen in my congregation.
Yep.
That's number one.
Yep.
Now you're going to tell me in a winnable American League with a Mariners team that can't hit to save their arse, with an Orioles team that doesn't know how to win.
A Guardians team in first place.
Yeah, say that out loud. Guardians. Are they going to a World Series? Hell no. They're called the Guardians. And then a Royals team that's still in diapers. You can win the AL. You can't say, I don't care about winning the AL. The hell you don't.
I do, but it's walking that line. You finally got everything in order.
You don't want to mortgage the future to do it.
And that's fair. And if you lock off your top 8 prospects, and there's going to be GMs going, I don't want to trade with Craig. Don't even pick up the phone.
Right.
It happened to Heim. It did happen to Heim, where he was known as, like, you don't want to trade with him because it had to be exactly how he wanted it.
Right.
And it's negotiation.
It's negotiation.
It's finding a compromise.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find one by the next show.
We did. I like your Evaldi, Turner, Kikuchi. I'm good.
Turner, Kikuchi, bullpen arm. Evaldi, Turner.
Ooh. See, I need Nathan back. I am singing.
I'd live with Nate Evaldi. He knows how to pitch in the city.
Bro.
He knows how to pitch in the playoffs.
Yes. I'm singing R&B songs
and
to Nathan
Evaldi. And they're
Evaldi.
both similar age, and I believe similar team control if they get traded here, where they're not long-term guys, but you can lock them up.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Let's talk long-term Patriots.
All right.
I was at day 2 at training camp.
Yeah.
So defense gets the win today.
Okay. How'd Drake look?
Bad.
Oh.
Bad. But the offense did as a whole.
It wasn't
not
all
a good
Drake.
thing. So Jacoby Brissett went 8 for 11, sacked 3 times. And one of his best completions was finding KJ Osborne on the right sideline. But as I'm watching it, it's drops back. There was constant pressure. The offensive line was overwhelmed. Not in pads. I can't say that enough. Not in pads. So everything's like, all right, but when the pads come on, does the defensive line dominate? How does the offensive line respond? I'm watching, I go, sack. Jacoby finds Osborne, gets the ball out. So everyone's celebrating. It wasn't a completion. Drake May, 9 for 11, sack, but 4 checkdowns of those 9 completions. And his best throw of the day, though, was an over-the-middle crosser by Jalen Polk, that's Jalen Polk's favorite route, and that's Drake May's favorite route to throw to. But it wasn't showing off the bazooka. It was layering the throw over the second level of the defense, right into Polk, leading him in, perfect touch pass, perfect timing, and I saw that and go, that is beautiful to see. But what the real play of the day was Jacoby Brissett trying to drop it in a bucket to Jalen Polk, running a fade from the slot, and just a battle at that point, and a great PBU by the defensive back. I forget who was in coverage there, but Jalen Polk, man, can go up. He knows how to track the ball. He knows how to time it. It would have been an awesome catch. It was just that good of defense where it was broken up on the sideline.
You know,
here we go. What are you going to take? Drake May, layer to pass. That means he could start week 3.
All I'm saying is, day 1, you told me he showed off the bazooka arm. I believe it was to Rager, you said.
50-yard touchdown down the sideline, then let one rip against Polk just off.
And then, so he showed that twice, but he connected with one in day 1. And then you said in day 2, you like the touch pass to Polk. So he showed you the bazooka and that he has a touch pass.
Yep.
Okay.
You know what else he showed me in a couple checkdowns?
Yeah, what?
Deep out to Tyquan Thornton, thrown behind him. That would have been picked.
Well, Tyquan
check
Thornton.
Down to Ramondre. No.
It's Tyquan's fault.
No. He was open.
Oh, he was?
You lead him.
Okay. All right.
Check down to Ramondre Stevenson off target.
Yeah. Oh.
That would have been picked off or just not a completion.
Antonio Gibson's more the guy.
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care.
All right.
You have to be accurate. Ball placement. It's literally a matter of inches in the NFL between interceptions or catastrophe or touchdowns.
Let me ask you one more question.
All right,
these Jacoby Brissett beautiful passes that you're saying, were they, 6-7 yards deep?
No, the
5
slot
yards.
fade. No, the slot fade to Jalen Polk was downfield, deep throw.
Oh, it was?
Perfect accuracy, too.
Oh, I've never seen that before.
Other guy gets paid. Dude, you have not watched Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
He can make the
have.
throws.
I've never seen that before.
But here you go. This is what you have with Drake May. You have the talent and ability that comes with ease. Flick of the wrist, ball can go 50 yards on a rope, dead point accuracy, no problem, and can zip it in between any layer of defenders too. And you have the athleticism. I'm not talking Josh Allen athleticism, no matter how many comps he gets to that.
Sure.
But athletic to move in the pocket or being confident with his tuck and running. And a guy that has shown resiliency where deep pass to Rager, day one, touchdown throw of the day. Next one, looks to his left, throws it downfield to Jalen Polk just off, but is willing to fail early. And overall, Travis, I'm seeing competency in the offense.
Sure.
And that's the baseline, but that's what you haven't had the last 2 years.
Right.
So you watch and you see and you like what you're seeing.
Yeah.
And then you see a kid that will stay on the practice field an extra 35 minutes working with Javon Baker because they didn't like what they had on the field.
Right.
Javon Baker did shine in practice today. He did look good, getting open, getting catches. But end of the day, this is what you get with Drake May. We know the talent, we know the ability, and we know the ceiling. We're getting those flashes.
Yeah.
And that's what Patriots fans should be excited for. He can make any throw on the field, and it comes with ease. It's a flick of the wrist. He doesn't have to load up and let it go. That's not the issue for him. It's, again, the footwork, translating everything, tying his feet to his eyes and making a throw, and showing that he can be on schedule and on time within this system.
Okay.
And most important, and I haven't seen it yet, a competent offensive line in front. Because we saw, to start, last practice, Okorafor, So, Andrews, Onwenu, Calvin Anderson. Then we saw Onwenu next to Caden Wallace. Today with the ones, Onwenu next to Vidarian Lowe. It is open game at right tackle.
It should be.
And whoever can get it done, get it done. And basically they're going to Mike Onwenu. We're going to line up these 3 guys next to you.
Right.
Let us know who works best next to you. Let us know what the best 5 is. Because if the offensive line is not ready week 1 and Drake is, do not start Drake. If it's ready week 5 and Drake is, start it.
Yeah. God, I want to argue with you so bad, but that's where we agree.
And then he regresses, and then you fumble the whole thing.
That's where we agree.
And you need your offensive line even. This is the question, too, and I was speaking about it with Alex Barth down at the practice field, and I've spoken about it on why I think Bailey Zappi should stay on this roster. Because if week 1 or week 2, offensive line's not ready, Jacoby goes down, do you want Drake out there? I don't.
Right.
Who's your backup?
Right.
Do I think it's Joe Milton, who passed up and took reps ahead of Bailey Zappi? I think Bailey Zappi could begin to get phased out.
Yeah.
Do you go out and sign a vet? But that's a reality of what this team is.
Fair.
Everything, the situation has to be right for Drake May to succeed.
I just know this. You stay over there on your side as the president and lone client of the Jacoby Brissett fan club. Meanwhile, over here, I'll be the conductor of the Drake May hype train. Who's coming with me, baby? Choo-choo. Whoop, whoop. Let's go.
This studio will never be big enough to not make you loud. I didn't have my second cup of coffee today, and then that's happening. Now I know what it's like to have kids. Just like, what? I just look, I'm like, what's this noise happening to my right? But I love it.
Loud and wrong.
Yeah. Hey, you know where you're going to be right?
What?
Let's build an Olympic starting 5.
Oh.
I like this. The Players Tribune put out a tweet. They asked Breonna Stewart to make a starting 5 in Olympic basketball.
All right.
Can only actually use 2 basketball players, though.
2 current. Okay, got it.
Right? Makes sense?
Yep.
So the rest are Olympians.
Okay, got it. I'm good.
I don't know if the rules were they have to be Olympians or not. I made my WNBA starting 5.
Yeah,
and I'll give you my point guard, Arike Ogunbowale.
Okay.
She's not an Olympian, but the best point guard.
Yes.
And then my center is Asia Wilson.
Okay.
So give me the 2 best players in the league.
Yes.
My shooting guard, Crystal Dunn from the U.S. Women's National Soccer Team. Sick defender.
Awesome.
Obviously, very athletic.
Great person, too.
Understands transition game.
Covered
and
her.
athletic enough. Really?
Yeah.
DC?
Yep.
Yeah. Not
She was
surprised.
on the Washington
She's awesome.
Spirit. She's awesome.
My small forward, Angelica Delgado, competing in judo.
Oh.
That means she's an elite defender.
Oh.
I need that wing on the outside that can lock anybody down. And then power forward, someone I covered, Dana Recchi out of Wisconsin, Olympic volleyball, 6'8". That's my power forward.
Jeez, 6'8".
I have Asia Wilson and Dana Recchi protecting the paint.
That's a tough team right there.
I'm just saying, I know what I'm doing.
It's a tough team. All right. I went Brittany Griner at center because, I mean, we're going to talk about what the U.S. did for her, right? So let's bring her on the team, and she can hold down the paint. Stewie at the power forward. Serena Williams at the 3.
Okay.
Sha'Carri Richardson at the shooting guard because,
Get out on the
speed and
fast
all.
break.
Yeah. Hey, take this ball, go to the cup.
Put on the
no one can stop you. Thank you. And then Simone Biles is point guard because duh. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little concerned that my team will lose to yours. So I'm not going to lie.
I just went inside out.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned.
I was like, who are the two best players in the WNBA?
Yeah.
They're on my squad.
BG's going to have some problems on the interior with what you got going on.
Dana
She
Recchi.
is.
Dana Recchi, national champion volleyball player.
I like my guards, but BG's going to have some issues.
All right, I went first on the women's side. You go first on the men's side. What's your men's starting five?
All right, I went at point guard Christian Pulisic because, listen, point guards are used to this. Point guards get blamed for everything, right?
Yeah, he gets blamed for
So what happens is Team USA, he's the only one that does anything on the soccer pitch for them.
Facts.
The only one. And then they lose. No one does anything except him. And it's like, oh, my God, what's wrong with Team USA? Christian Pulisic's supposed to be some superstar. He is, moron. No one else is doing anything. That's a point guard for you. He stays calm, cool, and collected and delivers every time. He's a leader. I'm going Pulisic there. Shooting guard, Usain Bolt, because just like with Richardson,
Wait, we're building
speed.
Team USA.
Yeah, with Olympians, and you can only use a couple basketball players.
Usain Bolt's Jamaican.
Oh, damn. You're right. Sorry, Bolt.
This is the second time you've done this, too.
I just love him. All right, well, Noah Lyles, I guess. Come on down.
Get back
Damn
up.
it. I didn't really want you, Noah. I wanted Usain Bolt.
Oh, wait,
Brianna
hold
Stewart had you, so I thought I
Wait,
could.
hold on.
But
Brianna
you're
Stewart
right.
had Usain Bolt on her team.
Yeah, but
all right, there's no rules.
me
I'm not
and
making
her
up rules.
both-
Give me your team.
No, we broke the rules. So
I want
Noah
All-American.
Lyles, I guess I'll rock with you. Then I'm going Kobe at the small forward, who she had as well. I'm going Michael Phelps at the power. What?
No. You're going Kobe.
I'm honored. He's American. Rest his soul.
I'm just confused about these rules now. I went current Olympians and current players. Trust me, put Kobe in the light every
All right.
time. I was just not ready for that.
Fine. You know what? Jason Tatum loved him. Bring Jason Tatum.
What?
Tatum, you can run the three.
Oh, jeez.
What? I can't do that now. He's got love for Kobe. I wanted Kobe. You said I can't have Kobe. So take a Jason Tatum.
I wouldn't go with the paper lion at the three. That's it.
Stop. And then power forward, I'll go Michael Phelps because he's tall, he knows how to win, and he's from Baltimore, i.e., he got that dog in him. And then at center, LeBron James.
I like that Phelps pick for that reason. I did something similar with my team.
Okay, bring it.
Point guard, Anthony Edwards.
Point guard?
Anthony Edwards.
Okay,
He's running point.
That's interesting.
He can do it.
He's going to shoot a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Who do you think I
gonna
want
shoot a
shooting
lot.
on this?
He's going to shoot a lot.
The NBA player or Nyjah Houston, who's my two? And he's a skateboarder.
Oh,
Legend.
all right.
Grew up with him. But you know why? Because everyone went to high school with that one kid that was like the shithead skateboarder.
Yeah.
Smoked cigs, drank all the
Yeah.
time, but was always a sick athlete.
Yeah.
Like, if he played football or basketball, he'd be all state.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying Nyjah Houston is any of that, but
Yeah.
that's why I'm picturing with a skateboarder. And you have to have good feet. Small forward, Connor Prince. An Olympic shooter, literally like shooter.
Oh.
Yeah, knockdown shooter from the corner. You got to be deadly accurate. Does it translate? I don't know.
I can dig it.
Then power forward Matthew Fallon, an Olympic swimmer from Warren, New Jersey.
Is he related to Jimmy Fallon?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Took a shot.
And then at center, the MVP of Team USA, Anthony Davis.
Oh yeah, my team's beating your team's ass.
No,
you
not
don't,
at all.
You don't stand a chance,
Dude.
Listen, your ladies will beat my team, but my men are destroying yours.
Respectfully to the past, you have a dead person on your team.
I changed it to Jason Tatum.
And again, my women's team's winning. Men's team is toss-up.
I had two guys originally I didn't have on the team that I had to make adjustments for, but I'm confident with Noah Lyles and I'm confident with Jason Tatum. Okay,
right.
relax.
All right. I'll take it. The Olympic ceremonies are Friday night.
Yes.
Coco Gauff, LeBron James, the flag bearers
love
for
it.
Team USA.
I love
Going to
it.
be epic. I can't
love it.
wait. And then Sunday morning,
Yeah.
USA Serbia to open up actual
That's
basketball.
right.
And Sunday evening, hold my banner.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ooh, ooh. Come on, come on.
And that's called a tease. All right, thank you guys so much for listening to Boston Has Entered the Chat.
Yeah.
He's Travis Thomas.
Yeah.
I'm George Bilecki. This was the chat from the PNC Bank studio. You want to call in 617-790-0928. Email us thechat@nesson.com. Please like, subscribe, rate, review wherever you're listening to your podcast, and subscribe wherever you watch them. We appreciate you guys making us part of your day. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you next week. Later.